Hey everybody, Bart here. Today I'm going to show you 8 easy stretches when grouped together. I call it break for 8. Now, some guidelines for work during the day when you're at the office would be get up every 2 hours, or every 2 hours 3 minutes of exercise. There have been a variety of different methods people have employed to break up the monotony of your posture during the workday. Now, your work posture may have changed. You might be on the couch as opposed to an office chair. Maybe you're at the kitchen table. You could be a lot of different places that your body is not used to, or maybe now that's the new norm. All right, now I'm going to show you 8 easy stretches, first starting with back extension. So once you stand up, the first thing you do is hopefully stand up tall. And so back extension is just that, it's standing up. Now I'm going to start with getting my feet under my hips, bending my knees, finding a neutral pelvic tilt, squeezing in my abs, pulling the shoulders back, then I'm going to look up. Now I'm extending the spine, looking up. I'm really tall in the spine, my core is tight, my glutes are tight, and once I've had a really good back extension, I'll relax. Maybe I'll shake out my shoulders a little bit. Maybe I'll hold them up and back. Maybe I'll stretch back. Something to get away from forward shoulder, rounded head posture. Now next for me is chest expansion. Now chest expansion, I interlace my fingers behind the back of the hips. If I cannot get here, I can just substitute this with door jam stretch. It's not the same, but door jam stretch is still really good. So I find chest expansion. When I personally practice chest expansion, I move. So I call this pendulum swinging. And I'll do figure eights. So I'll move around. And I'm trying to activate all of the muscles that are attached to the scapula. And I shake it out. Next, I shake out my knees. So I do some butt kickers. If possible, I'll do a standing quad stretch. If not possible, I might just lasso my ankle, working into that standing quad stretch right here. But I'm going to try and get at the knee, because my knees have been locked. They've been sitting in that one position. That's why I go from first standing up, then to the muscles that have been rounded, then to the muscles who have just been in that same position, so the knees. I'll kick it out, I'll do some butt kickers, I'll do that standing quad stretch. I'll balance it out, working into the other side. So you always got to do both sides. I know sometimes one side is tighter than the other, but you don't want to always just work the side that is most tight, you want to hit them both. Shaking it out. Then I'm going to start to work to the lower back. So for me, the next stretch would be the Romanian. So this is a static hold. I'm pushing on my thighs, my knees are bent, my hips are in a hinge, all the weight, lost my balance. All the weight is back in my heels, and I'm trying to extend my spine. I'm trying to get space between each of my backbones. Sometimes I'll call them the vertebrae. And I'm stretching my hamstrings. So I'm getting taller. I may have been slouched in the lower back. So we went from the spine, chest and shoulders, knees, ankles, work lower back and hamstrings. Next, I'd want to work on my hips. So I'm always going to default to a 4 square stretch. You don't have to do this. I think everybody is mildly capable of this to an extent. It could be a curtsy stretch. Could be cradle to baby, where I'm all the way up here. You could be laying on your back. And that's why I said I'm pretty confident everybody's capable of this. Once the pool opens, we'll have more options for adapted yoga or adapted stretching routines, but either lying on your back or standing is what we can do for right now. So we work to the hip. Now we're going to work to the calf. Now my favorite calf stretch for me personally is just this gentle bow where I've hinged my hips, I've bent the other knee, and I've I don't love locking the knee, but it's fairly locked. It's not hyperextended. And I'm reaching for that ankle. Egads, that is miserable. I've been doing a lot of hiking, a lot of walking, and I feel it. Other ways to go about hitting the calf might be using one of these foam rollers. I have a yoga block, so I can use the yoga block. I'll set it down, and I'll set my foot on top of the yoga block, and I'll walk onto it like I might do the side of a machine or a pylon at the end of the parking space. If you've ever been in a boot camp outside, you know you use everything that you can. And so my ankle is actually stepping on it like this. I straighten my legs. This right heel's on the floor, and I'm stretching my calf. That way I don't have to bend over at all. Sometimes it's just bending over that's the problem. All right. Now, the next stop on our train is a twist. So there's a lot of ways we can do a twist. We can work standing like a lunge where I'm twisting my spine. We call this reverse lunge. I can use my door jam stretch, and I can twist into it. I could do a seated twist like from yoga, or a laying twist like from yoga. I can use the door jam and do that reverse lunge twist. This is one of my favorite ones while you're working out. There's lots of ways I can go about my twist. I can do a straddle twist. This one is one of my favorites from my yoga class, where I'll push on one thigh and I'll turn and look up. I can drop my hips more like a squat twist, but this is more just like a straddle twist. If I was at the office, it might look like this. I'm very flexible. Not everybody can reach that far around, so usually if you don't have a back here, you might be on the edge of a desk where my knees are bent over my ankles. And this is an example of a chair twist. You see this in the chair yoga as well. All right, so we've worked to our spine, we've worked to our chest and shoulders, we worked to our quadriceps, we've worked to our lower back, we worked to our calves, we twisted. Let's pick two more. Can you guess what they are? You got it. The wrists, so I'm working on stretching back. Now I'm leaving the thumb out for a very specific reason. When I'm stretching back, I'm not pulling on all these muscles that are their own. These four fingers all work together. The thumb is its own apparatus, so sometimes when I'm stretching the thumb, I'll stretch it by itself. I never whip, crack, or snap my joints. I'll usually move slowly, or I'll stretch my fingers this way. And if you were listening closely, you could hear a little crepitus. I've been on the computer a lot today. I do have arthritis in my fingers. It's unfortunate. And there are some days less crackly, so I always look for those less crackly days. Now I've worked these muscles right here, these joints, and I can work the opposite. I'd call this 1 though. I'd call this number 7 of our break for 8. So again, I'm leaving the thumb alone. Here I'm at 90. Similarly, I'm at 90 here. That's just not as restful. This feels better. All right. Now lastly, we're going to stretch our neck. So think Superman. I'm going to find that big chest, and I'm going to turn my neck. Taking ample time here to really stretch. Slowly working back through center. Drop the chin. Rock it out. And there you have it. That's a full body routine, really simple. And once you've practiced it, it would take you less than 5 minutes, 7 minutes. That's not too shabby. You don't have as many places to go around the office since your office is at home right now. So I think 5 to 7 minutes every couple hours will do you wonders. Stay tuned, we'll have yoga today at 4:40. So I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself.